how were you feeling when you heard out about football being suspended prior to the Salford game? Because it came pretty much out of
Yeah,
the blue, didn't it?
yeah, it did. I think it was the day before the Salford
Mm.
game. Maybe we came in I think it came in the Friday
Yeah.
morning before, as we would usually to prepare for the game. Um, Obviously, maybe had an idea the Thursday that obviously things were picking up outside of football and a bit of not too sure what was going to happen. Um, and then I think at that point they just had to go away for the weekend. Obviously the game was off, go away for the weekend, and I think we maybe planned to come in at some point next week with obviously some new guidelines maybe from the government. So originally it was kind of we just thought maybe that game was off and
Mm.
obviously things would be put in place and we'd be back in maybe in a week, and then obviously things escalated and then the first lockdown was put in 3 weeks, and then I think obviously gradually as time's gone on it's just sent more and more unlikely that we were going to be in anytime soon. So it's been really strange, obviously, because it's you're not in, but it's certainly not. It's not a holiday or anything like that. Whereas usually the season would be finished and you'd be going away on holiday with your family or whatever, and it's not being the case. Obviously, you're in the house with your family, which at first was nice to spend a bit of time with your family because obviously you don't really get that time with the obviously the industry that we're in. So that was nice, and then yeah, obviously as time's gone on, you're just itching to get back really. The staff have been good putting things in the group chats and obviously trying to keep fitness levels up and introducing the ball and that now as well to try and get us used to that again, because sure that'll be like a bomb when they get brought out again in training, whenever that is. Um, so yeah, that's kind of just how it is at the moment, just spending time with the family and just trying to keep fitness levels up as well. I bought a bike, which I'll probably never use again after this spell. But yeah, been out on that and just to maybe do something a little bit different than trying to run most days and things like that. So um, no, it's really strange times at the moment for everybody, not just people in football. But yeah, for us, it's really strange, and I think there's maybe the guideline of May the 16th. I think for trying to get teams back in, and obviously time will tell really, and government guidelines will probably dictate to whether that's possible.
And should football return behind closed doors, I guess that itself would bring its own challenges and differences to playing in front of fans.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it'd be really strange. Probably not had done that since youth team days, really, back when I was 16, 17 years old. So would be really strange and obviously disappointing. It's as everybody says the cliche of obviously the fans make obviously the sport really, and they do because the atmosphere and things like that is such a huge part of the game, particularly over here in England. So it would be really strange and definitely weird if that was the case that the games get played behind closed doors. It's not a preference of mine or anybody. I don't think anybody wants that. I think if it does give you the chance to maybe finish the season though and give us our last 9, 10 games or whatever it was that we had left, because obviously the position we have put ourselves in, such a great chance to maybe get promoted. So I think obviously what we want to do is finish the season ideally with people there. But if it gives us the chance, if the people aren't there, but maybe letting them obviously watch the games online or whatever, just to give us that chance to kind of see where the season takes us, and that then maybe that would be the best thing. But yeah, I think there's different stories coming out every single day at the moment, isn't there? Different ideas and solutions. It's taken with a pinch of salt, I think, at the moment, because you just don't know. As you say, we are governed really by the government and what they want to do. So um, yeah, it'll be interesting, of course, to see what happens. But in an ideal world, we'll get to finish the season and hopefully our fans over there to see it.
You mentioned that you've recently bought a bike, but how are you managing to stay fit at home? And that again must be a challenge in itself.
Yeah, it is, because I think obviously they're putting their programs in, but some obviously equipment, you don't really have the equipment that you'd usually have available, and it's quite difficult. I mean, obviously the running out on the road is simple enough. Been doing that, biking, um, bit of core work and things like that. Really, things that you can kind of do where you don't need too much equipment. And obviously the gyms are closed and things like that, so it is difficult to maybe do the things you would usually do, but it's just making do really. And as I say, the programs that have been sent through have been really good, really helpful. And there's all sorts of stuff on there as well, stretching type things and injury prevention really, because that'll be key. And I believe obviously if we do go back in, then we may get a 2-3 week period before we have to start the games again. So we need to be at a certain level. When we do go back, we're not going to have the luxury of maybe a 5 or 6 week period, which we would usually have. It's going to be shortened somewhat. So we need to be fit, and yeah, so we're going to be going straight into it. So I think the injury prevention type stuff's going to be big, because it will be, I think, intense from the off, whereas maybe you'd be eased into it usually, but we won't really have that luxury this time. So what you don't want to do is go back, a bit of a run the first day, and obviously get injured, and then you can't even play anyway in the remaining games. So yeah, plenty to do. Very important that we stay fit and keep the muscles strong. So that's what we're all trying to do at the moment, and the staff are monitoring that.
And how have you been keeping in touch with your teammates? Jake was mentioning some Zoom quizzes and things you guys have been
Yeah,
doing.
yeah, we have. Yeah, some team quizzes, which gets put in the group chat, and it's about 8 or 9 lads regulars that do it. I think a lot of the young boys have got no interest in it at all. They've gone into hiding, and we've not heard from them for 5 or 6 weeks. Hopefully, they're all well. Um, but yeah, they've disappeared off the side of the earth. A lot of the boys. So, but no, it's a good core group. As I say, 9 or 10 that are doing the quizzes. We lost the first quiz. Me and my partner. I say we. She did. She lost. She was terrible. Well, I may as well have just carried on my own. So I had to host the second one, which I think Bowman and his wife Louise lost that. So they're next up. They're hosting the next one, which I think maybe is at some point this week. Which is nice just to see everyone and try and stay in touch, of course, because you're not really coming into contact with anybody else except the people that are in your home at the moment. So it's good to see the lads have a bit of banter and things like that, and keep that feel of obviously seeing people and having a laugh and things. So it's good. Hopefully, I don't lose the next one. I need to do some practicing, but I'm saving that for Football Manager at the minute.
Just looking back at your time at City so far, almost 2 seasons, how would you rate how well you've got on so far?
Yeah, really well. Obviously, from the start, really, Carlisle at home, my first game, scoring. I think I maybe got man of the match that day, and not really looked back since. I think personally, it's gone really well. I think I'd love, obviously, to, as a team, maybe have something to show for that nearly 2 seasons now, which, as I said earlier, we've put ourselves in a fantastic position to maybe do that. But yeah, no, I've loved it. The fans took to me straight away. They're unbelievable with me. The support they show me is fantastic. Maybe they're probably the best I've had in my career. Maybe with the love they show for me, and some of the stuff that they say now still makes me laugh. Like obviously the goat type stuff, and our foreign contingent of fans on Instagram always make me laugh with I think it's Baron. Do they say Baron? Yeah,
Is it,
Iniesta,
is it because
Messi. They're all out there. There's some.
you look a bit like Veron?
Yeah, but no, they do. They've been unbelievable with me and their support. and obviously the club, the people that work at the club as well, and the lads are great as well. I think, yeah, the two. It's a similar club to when I was at Motherwell, in its feel of a family club, not a huge club by any stretch of the imagination, but a real tight knit club from the fans to the staff to the players. It just has that feel about it. And I always say that probably Motherwell, Exeter, probably the two clubs where I've most enjoyed my time playing in my career. So hopefully, long may that continue for a good few more years yet, and hopefully have some success as well in that
Um,
time.
you scored 17 goals in well, 10 last season, 7 so far this season. Is that sort of your best run of goals?
Yeah, I had decent spell goal scoring form when I was at Rangers. Scored quite a lot of goals. And then at Bradford, I kind of went a little bit deeper. I was played more deeper when I was at Bradford. I wasn't really played as much as an advanced role as I do now. And I think that's obviously been a big reason as to why I've got the goals and assists I have since I've been at Exeter, playing a little bit more advanced. It's a role I've always enjoyed. It gives me that little bit of freedom, and I feel that it best suits the assets I've got, which is obviously trying to create and yeah, score goals as well. I think with age, you kind of get that little bit maybe more of calmness in front of goal. You don't maybe snatch at stuff as much. So yeah, I think obviously just having that experience of being a little bit older now has definitely helped in front of goal. And yeah, 17 so far. Could have been a few more, obviously, but no, I'm hopeful of certainly adding quite a few to that yet in my time here. Um, so yeah, no, if I could get a few more, obviously if the season does continue, then obviously that'll give us an even better chance of hopefully getting promotion.
And what's been your pick of the 17 so far? There's been some pretty decent ones in there.
Yeah. Um, Probably the goal against Stevenage start of this season with the left foot, half volley, kind of cutting
Good chance
across
to
and
score that
in.
as well, wasn't it? Right there.
Yeah, late on as well for the winner. Was nice.
Grimsby must have been good sitting the guy down that
Yeah, I was
tried
going
to
to say Grimsby as well was a good goal. Getting one of my chops in as well for a goal is always nice because usually they're just
still trying to find you now, I think, the guy.
get them in for fun really because I don't get to do them anymore in training because people just let me shoot now. They don't go for the chop anymore, so I save them for games. Um, and probably for emotion, probably the Notts County away last season, playing for that long with 10 men and hanging in there really, and then managing to nick it so late on in front of the away fans as well was a pretty nice feeling. So yeah, any of those three really, which I think two of those left foot and the header actually.
No,
Which,
well, you said eyebrow, wasn't it? I think.
yeah, eyebrow. I think just um, yeah, I thought I'd missed that one, but yeah, they don't happen often. So no, yeah, they'd probably be maybe one of those three.
You mentioned it a bit just now, but you're clearly a fan favourite, and you often hear your name and your song at St James Park. That
Yeah,
must be a good feeling as well.
yeah, it is. It just seems to give you that little extra push, to have that feeling of support. Obviously, I've been in places as well, Rangers at times where it's been difficult times, and obviously the crowd are not so supportive, and it's the most difficult time to play football. As I know, obviously, maybe you're getting a bit of stick and things like that. You can't say obviously enough how important it is to have the support from the fans, and I've always said that about the Exeter fans, even not just to myself but to the team in general. Really, that the support they have and that they just never, not in my time here anyway, I've never seen the fans turn and make it a difficult environment to play in. They've always been positive. There's never too much moaning or things like that. I mean, obviously this year, I think 3-0 down at home to Walsall after maybe 15, 20 minutes, and it could have so easily have turned, and the fans made it even more difficult. And then, it does. It becomes difficult for players then, particularly young players as well. And then game could have gone on and got ugly quite fast. Could have gone 4-5-6 before you know it. But now they're stuck with us and kind of willed us on really to getting back into that game and obviously getting the 3-3, and it could have been a victory in the end. So no, personally, obviously, as we touched on, the fans have been unbelievable for me, and yeah, as I say, in general, they're very good at obviously keeping us going, and we've had some great atmospheres in my town. I think obviously the MK Dons game at home, Plymouth at home, games like that where the crowds have been great and been that extra man, if you like, and we've obviously used that, and you've seen it in those performances, how well we've done and reacted to that.
Just finally, before I let you get back to Football Manager, you're looking forward to that time when we can all get back to St James Park in front of a crowd and playing again.
Yeah, well, it'll be unbelievable, won't it? I think probably some things that you maybe take for granted, really, things that happen maybe twice a week or every 2 weeks. You know that you're getting those games at home to at the park, as you say, and yeah, maybe you do take it for granted, and maybe this is obviously a little bit of a wake up call and makes you realise obviously how much you do miss it. So yeah, as you say, it'll be great to get back and have that first game, which I think, well, assuming obviously the fixtures stay the same, will be a home game against Salford. And yeah, it'd be fantastic if we could have the fans there as well. I'm sure it'd be a great turnout. Bit of a celebration as well. The first, obviously, game back at St James's Park, and big game as well. We've got huge games. Every single one of those games will be huge now to finish the season and have that last push. I do think obviously we didn't want to break this big, but a break at that point maybe came for some clubs at a bad time. I think for us it maybe came at a good time. We just suffered that little bit of a blip results wise, and I think this time will just give us that little bit of time to maybe regroup, re-energise. Yeah, I think we'll have a great attitude and to push on in that last one, in those last games, and hopefully if we could start those, obviously the remaining games, how we've started the season in both of my 2 seasons so far. I think we started both seasons fantastically. If we could put that into a run in our remaining games when we return, then we'll have a fantastic chance of being where hopefully we've worked so hard to be in one of those top 3 spots.